I want to just double click on the inroads and you being able to reach out to a previous internship and get a new position. How important was that in terms of relationships or having those relationships and connections versus
Yes.
just going out and trying to find it?
You have to invest in those relationships. We know of a lot of people, but do you know what they actually do on a day-to-day basis? Do you know who they know and
Mhm.
what they're exposed to or what their circle is exposed to? So when I was looking at my personal network, I said, okay, who do I know who would know a hiring manager? Because we all reach out to people but do they know the person reading the resumes?
Exactly.
So I reached out to someone who knew someone reading the resumes. And that's how that connection worked.
Understand that some of these conversations that we're having in some ways are nuanced and some of them
Yeah.
are just, it seems elementary, but that's really an important step, right? When you are networking or you are trying to get to another role and you see something on a company's website, it's like, I need to be in contact with the decision maker.
Yes.
I don't want to just talk to someone who's in the role and it's like, what does your day to day look like? Of course, like those things are important, but I want this conversation that I'm having with you to lead to the next step in the process, which is getting in front of a contact. And of course, it's not a one-way street, but when you are having those conversations, it's really important to try to get to a recruiter or a decision maker.
Yes.
Those are, I don't want to talk to somebody else who does it. Who is hiring?
Text your circle today and say, who do you personally know who has recs open? And that's where you get an understanding of, okay, this is where I need to really hone in.
I think that's really good to even just think about who do I know from my other companies. And even as you are networking, how important when you maybe are going into a new company or have been in a company and maybe you want to get into another role. So how important is it in networking with people in leadership positions? Because I think that at times it can be a little just scary, right? To talk to people who are SVPs or the CMOs, CROs, CISOs.
Yeah.
How important is it to connect with those people or to try to build some type of rapport with them?